Hello and welcome back to another Space Engineers showcase video. In today's video we're looking at another item in the BSE line, and this one is the personal transport skiff, which is this tiny little thing right here. So this is a small transport pod for you to move up to 7 people from a planet's surface to your large ship, which is orbiting wherever you are. You can use it to move people around to battle zones, transport a small amount of goods, but it is mainly for transporting people. Pressing F10 and finding the skiff in the spawn menu, there it is. The skiff is 994 small blocks. It uses no DLC packs and no mods, but it does have a few scripts where one is very important, but I'll go over that a little bit later on. So we're going to start by taking a look around the outside, and we're going to have a little play around with this, because it is quite an interesting little item. So at the very front here, we've got our standard cockpit with a camera on front. This is how your pilot is going to drive this drop pod around and perhaps get it into its perfect location before letting the script take over and have it land safely to the ground. Or you could use it to fly up to your ship or a station in space. Below the camera, we've got a bunch of lovely blockwork in the battered armored skin in our white, red and black. And just below that, we've got some flashing lights, we've got some ion thrusters and 2 spotlights. Now this ship contains both ion and hydrogen thrusters, so we can go through pretty much everywhere in this game, although it could be a bit slow because of how few thrusters are on this. So if you were just to come down here and take a sneaky look there, we do have a small reactor which is going to be powering this thing. We do have some small batteries on this, but it is going to be reactors powering this thing mostly. As we come around the side here, we've got a bunch more lovely blockwork. We've got the warning pattern going around the bottom of the ship, which is our yellow and black. Coming around to the side, we've got some more flashing lights and another camera. Down here, and looking up to here, we can come inside where we've got the first of our cryopods. Like I said, this can hold up to 7 people, so there are 6 cryopods on this. Can be a little bit iffy getting in and out, but we do have these little mail slots for you to try and poke your hand through and touch it. We have 3 small cargo containers for you to put bits and bobs inside it, such as ammunition, some guns, some tools, so you don't leave your crew stranded on the planet. Although you could leave them stranded on the planet, it'd be funny to watch them struggle and survive while you're in the luxury of your giant ship. But anyway, moving further around the side, we'll then come to the part which holds some programmable blocks. So once again, we've got some ion thrusters, our blinking light, and another camera. There is our large battery, and we've got 2 smaller batteries on the sides. Coming down here and looking, we've got our programmable blocks, but only one of them really matters, which is the automatic drop pod script, which is going to be very useful and to make you less reliant on the parachute hatches. Coming around to the final side of the drop pod, guess what? It's going to be the same as the other side, where we've got our cryopods, which are in these little mail slots right here. Got a little symbol, we've got some more cargo containers, some more flashing lights, and another camera. Coming up to the top where I'm standing, you won't be able to see too much, other than some lovely blockwork in the form of blast door edges, some more battered armored blocks, and then this oddity right here. At first I thought it was like some fancy smancy solar panel, but it's an LCD screen with a little pattern on it. So we've got some more ion thrusters around the top to help us go down. We can see some parachute hatches which are on both sides. We've got an air vent there just to suck in some oxygen from your surroundings. And we've got some more small batteries. If I was just to come underneath the LCD screen like so, you'll be able to see some conveyors. Then dropping down further into the ship, you'll be able to see some hydrogen tanks, some atmospheric thrusters, and some more small reactors, and how they're all being connected up on the interior. It's a very nice, easy to look at setup in here. So we have a bunch of wheel suspensions going around the side with no wheels attached on. I suppose you could, if you wanted to, attach wheels onto this, but it might be a bit uncontrollable when you land, because those 2 landing gear right there will not be able to snap to the ground. We have a bunch of small window blocks, which I don't think I did a video on, because it released at Christmas, where I had family over and could not record, so I was relying on pre-recorded videos. But I might come back to that if people want to see that type of thing. But anyway, the small window blocks act as a little guard for the stuff behind it, where we've got some more small reactors, some small cargo containers, a bunch of sensors. We can see the bottom of the hydrogen tanks, our O2H2 generator, and all our thrusters. And that just about covers the outside. And now we get to go into the fun part of testing this. So getting into my character and coming into the cockpit, we got a few little options. But before I do that, I will come around to here and show you how we can get in. So we can get into the cryopod like so, and we'll be nice and protected in here. We've got a few LCD screens going around showing us the time, and we have this warning label right here, which is one of the scripts. So the light will turn green when we're ready to exit, and it will stay red like it is when you're high in the sky and at risk killing yourself due to fall damage. But coming out of that and just coming back to the proper cockpit right now, let's go through some of the options. So number one is to view the camera straight forwards, which gives you a much better view than being in the cockpit in first person. Number two is for our hydrogen thrusters on and off. So if you want to save your precious ice, you can do. And being that I'm on Mars currently, you don't need to have it on, although thrusts will be a little bit slow without it. Number three is for our emergency parachute. So say you do not have scripts enabled in the world, then you will have to rely on this in order to land the drop pod safely. Number four is to view straight down so you know where you're going. Number five is our very important script, the drop pod script, where if I was to press it, it will take control over the ship and will start to bring us down to the ground. It will make sure that we are correctly orientated and we will land safely. So here it goes, it's now going to drop us down to the ground, turn off our dampeners, and we'll start thrusting, and we will hit the ground nice and safely. So there we are, it slowed us right down, dropped us to the ground. As soon as the dampeners flip on, we can then take control of it ourselves. And there we are, no parachutes needed, and a safe landing. A bloody fantastic script, and hats off to whoever created it. Number 6 and number 7 are for our power on and off. So pressing number 7 is going to turn us off, and number 6 will turn everything on. Number 8 is to view just below our ship, but on the interior, so we can see if anything's been damaged, and we can clearly see if we're going to connect up or not. Number 9 is for our connector on and off. On tab number 2, we've got a remote control block, which if we press it, we'll get the same controls once again. But that is how we can use our big ship or our space station to control this drop pod without having to get into the cockpit. But as for that, that is basically it. So I suppose I could do a small thruster test, although that kind of defeats the point of a drop pod. Anyway, going forwards, we've got a relative amount of speed. Stopping, it's a little slow, so you will have to make sure you're not going too fast towards a mountain, or you will go splat. Going backwards is basically the same. Left and right again, basically the same because the thrusters have been evenly distributed. Going down and going up, we are very, very fast. Going up is much, much faster, but that is simply to help with the drop pod script to make sure you don't come crashing down to the ground in pieces. Wiggling my mouse around, we've got a nice amount of control. There is a bit of weight on here, but not too much, and really helps make up for the lack of thrust on the left and the right. But as for that, there's nothing else to talk about. It's just a lovely little design for you to use in your world if you want to transport a few people around the map. You could always, if you wanted to, remove the cryopods and put some more cargo containers in there. It's entirely up to you what you want to do. But one last time, here we go, pressing number 5, it'll then take control over the ship and should hopefully bring us back down to the surface. So here we go. Now I'm going to start dropping all the way down. Let's get a good camera angle on here. In fact, I'll hide the HUD. And we have to be very trustful of the script that is going to activate and work. I would like to have the parachutes turn on, but that defeats the point of the script. So here we go. It should start slowing down right now. Nicely done. Very smooth script. And poof. We are now on the ground. We can connect ourselves up with our parking gear, landing gear even, hop on out, and you can let your people out your cryopods. There we are, the lights turned green, and you can be on your way. So the BSE personal transport Skiff will be in the description below if you wish to download and play around with it yourself. Highly recommend you do because it is a fun little design. And I'll be back with another showcase video some point soon. Also, in case you've been wondering, I will get my video schedule back to how it was. It's been a little bit hectic over Christmas with family being over and me having to rely on pre-recorded videos, but I'm slowly getting back to how it was. So yes, next week should be back to normal, and I'll hopefully be able to get a survival video out on Fridays like I used to do. So thank you all for watching, and I'll be back with another video some point soon. Bye bye.